Good morning, Kyle.
Good morning, Anne. How are you?
I am terrific. It's nice to see you. Hello, everyone. This is Monday Morning Coffee with Kyle and Ann, and we have a special edition for you today because Monday's Labor Day and we've had vacations and other sundry activities. We didn't want to go a month without seeing you, so we're bringing you a special edition today.
Monday morning coffee on Wednesday.
Exactly. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. My name's Ann Rossley. I'm here with my dear friend and colleague, Kyle Harvey. Together, we sell real estate in downtown Chicago. We're with Baird and Warner's Gold Coast office, and we love to talk real estate. Hi, Kyle.
Hello. Wow, it's the most perfect day today. I can't even believe it.
It is. It is. And we'll both be getting out there very soon. But let's talk real estate, shall we?
Yes.
Tell the folks what we're going to talk about today.
Well, today we're going to do a number of things. One, we're going to talk about stats. As we always do, we start off with stats. But then we're going to tell you a little bit about what real estate brokers like Ann and me, what we do to stay up on the market, to bring you watchers and also our clients all the best advice and really train ourselves to be a really effective real estate broker. Then we got some properties. We have time. We have properties. We're going to tell you a little bit about the difference between marketing agents and listing agents like Ann and me.
Got all kinds of good stuff.
What else? What else have we got? Let's start.
Well, let's do our stats. I've got stats light today because it's the end of the month and everybody's seen these, but we'll go over them very quickly here. I wanted to first show you single family homes year to date. And this is the two townships, North Chicago, which is basically the near north and Lincoln Park, and then the Lakeview Township, which is Lakeview, but also all the way up to Devon. So the blue is Lakeview, the red is North Chicago. So let's look first at North Chicago single family homes. Last year, as we all know, was a banner year. 406 homes were sold through July versus 200 the year before. So we basically doubled in 2021 what happened in 2020. And then this year, so far year to date, is 366, down 10% in the North Chicago Township, but certainly very strong compared to 2020. And
Can
then
you remember our names? Can you remember? Because I'm trying. I'm just
buggers. I thought. Sorry, everybody.
That was 2020, 2021, and 20. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So, excuse me. Yes. So anyway, and then in Lakeview,
still a great year.
Yes, absolutely right. Same thing holds true with the condos, co-ops, townhomes attached. Last year up 70% versus 2020. And this year we're only down 5 or 10%, but still significantly higher than the 2020 numbers. So now let's talk about under contract. And you're looking at a line graph that shows by month, every month for the last 3 years. And in July, North Chicago, 38 single family homes went under contract, 32 in Lakeview. Notice both are trending pretty similarly. And yeah, it's down a little bit, but we've talked about this before. A, inventory, B, rising interest rates. And C, we've just had such a gangbusters 2 years that,
a lot of people moved.
Yeah. Okay, attached, same thing. It's down, but we have had record months. And I wanted to show you now, I thought this was an interesting thing to look at because basically condos in the near north have been strong for lots of years, right? That's been kind of the center of downtown Chicago condo market. 350 were under contract in July of 2022. Compare that to July of 2018, 392, 2016, 468. So it's down, but look at these numbers that were higher than any previous year in the last 10 years. So, I don't know that it's a trend. I think we still haven't evened out yet after.
Yeah.
You think so too?
I do. I really do.
All right. So single family homes. This is showings per listing. And, it was so hot. Everybody was looking first of the year. It's calmed down. But again, 3.3 and 3.6 showings is still higher than some of the other months in previous years.
Yeah. No, agreed.
Now, this is what I find interesting. Look at this. Single family homes in Lakeview is up versus previous year. Isn't that odd? I mean, it could be an anomaly. Who knows? But
up against previous year. Oh, so no, that's versus North Chicago, right? Wait.
No. So 4.4 showings per listing.
Wow.
Yeah. But you know what I think it might be? Inventory is coming back. So maybe people are looking more because there's more to look at. So they say, okay, I'm going to go look at some. I'm just throwing out an idea there. I don't know. But so anyway, things are down, but they're not crisis.
Well, it was interesting. We'll get more to this when we talk a little in a minute about. I was talking to a mortgage broker, and he said that the housing shortage. Chicago has a real housing shortage. And that sort of dovetail, and developers are pulling back. They're not building as much as is necessary to deal with this housing shortage.
Right.
And that sort of dovetails with something I read this yesterday. The June numbers came out, and we were up. The housing values were up across the Chicago area 13%. So across the nation, gains are decreasing. They're
decelerating. Yeah.
Property values not dropping so much, but not growing at a rate. And Chicago's is not easing. Property values continue to rise. And some of that can be, to this guy's point, that we just do not have enough supply. And you and I have been saying this to everybody on this show for a couple of years, that we do not have enough supply to have a really, really robust market.
Right.
We just don't have enough. So anyway, very interesting. Thank you for those stats.
Sure. All right. So we wanted to talk a little bit today about how we as agents stay on the market. I mean, you could choose John Doe real estate agent out there or Jane Doe real estate agent out there, and who knows how on top of the market they are. So we wanted to share a little bit with you today about how we stay on top of the market, how we stay on top of our skills, and how we come to know what's going on so that we can help our clients better, right?
Absolutely.
So what are some of the things that you do, Kyle?
Well, so there are things that I do every day, and then there are things that I do to keep my skills generally sharp. So I'll start with what I do pretty much every day or really frequently. I watch this show. It's giving you a lot of information. And I do watch other shows that, because real estate brokers around the country are doing these web shows. And you learn a lot. They're about different markets, but they tell you what people are thinking about and sometimes best practices. I read hot sheets, and Anne has talked about hot sheets before that cover the neighborhoods that she and I are interested in, that we do most of our work in. How do you use hot sheets, Anne?
What do you mean? How do I use them? I look at them all the time. I look at buildings. I look at trends. I look at, and on the hot sheet, you see what's coming on. You see what's gone under contract, what's been canceled, what's back on market, price reductions. There's so many things to look at. For example, there was a time in like 2017, 2016 where we were seeing lots and lots of expireds. You basically don't see any expires now. You see a few canceled. You see if they're canceled, chances are they're being relisted as a way to get agents' attention. So
I use them sometimes. So for example, I've got a listing that's quiet right now, just like everything else in the city right now. I use it to educate. I hyper in on our competition, and I use the hot sheet to talk about what's happening with our competition, how few are going under contract, how few are closing, just so, or how many, just so that my seller can feel where she really is in the market versus why isn't this happening? Where are the, I explain where, and the hot sheets, which give everything new on the market, everything under contract, everything canceled, all that information is contained in the hot sheet, which tells us what's going on and how properties are moving.
well, and this is a little twist, and it's very similar to what you're talking about. If I have a listing that's not getting activity, or even if I do, when we go on the market, I say to the seller, here are the 3 properties that are most like us. Let's follow them. Let's watch them. Let's see what happens. And God forbid one of those 3 goes under contract and we don't, then something's wrong, right? So we watch those, and I'm in touch with those other agents. And if we're not getting showings or if things aren't going, at least we know those others are still out there. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, to your point, it's a really good way of gauging where we are.
I also, in looking at this, we'll go into this. It's a different thing in the MLS, a different search in the MLS. I'll find out how many are doing open houses of my competition, and I will, and I do a deep dive into the properties that are going under contract, even if they're not the top 3. What is it about them that is different or the same as us? And we can't tell whether that broker has brought this buyer to see our property, and if so, why not? And if not, why not? And just to get a sense of what's like and not like, what's working, what's not working, or whether we just need to hold our nerve for right now.
Right.
I do not believe that this quiet market is the time to do a price drop, because there aren't enough people milling around in it. It would be like a tree falling in the woods, but no one's there, so it doesn't make a sound.
Right.
So
I agree 100% with that.
so
Yeah.
those are the things that we do. So that's how I use hot sheets to make me smarter for my client, but also generally to be able to know what's going on in that neighborhood, what's going on in that particular kind of property. Yeah. Okay, so I do that. What else do I do? Well, and I know you do this too. I read the publications that describe that bring context to what's going on in Chicago residential real estate. Crane Chicago Business covers residential real estate every day, which is great. Now, I don't always agree with the conclusions that the columnist, who this is his daily beat, always draws, because he's also looking at a much bigger market, and I'm much more focused on my market. But it's always interesting, always helpful. So that's great. I also read the Real Deal. Have you ever looked at the Real Deal? It covers a bunch of cities, but it also covers Chicago, which I thought was great because it covers Florida, it covers New York, it covers, I think, DC. So, but I stay focused on Chicago, and it gives you not only the residential real estate news, but it also has commercial news. And sometimes the commercial real estate will tell you, especially if it's in the neighborhoods you're paying attention to,
Right.
will give you clues of the future of residential real estate in that neighborhood.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's really good. What other things do you read in addition to? Um,
Well, we've talked about this before. I'm a big fan of Keeping Current Matters, which aggregates information from many different sources to talk about what's happening in the real estate market and where the trends are. For example, they will go to 8 different sources to find out what the experts think is going to happen price-wise over the next few years, what we can expect in terms of appreciation, where we think mortgage rates are going to go, et cetera. Now, you and I have talked about this too. This is a national picture. So, we have clients moving to and from Chicago, so it's good to know what's happening in the national picture. We do want to focus on what's happening in Chicago because that's where our sellers are buying and selling in Chicago. But the thing about Keeping Current Matters is it helps us put in perspective what's going on versus the nation, but it also gives us the key indicators that we can research locally to find out what's happening. So it might be, trying to think of an example. It might be like employers moving in and out. It might be local interest rates here. It might be, well, for example, they talk about median sales price and where it's going. Well, we look at that each week
each
when we
week?
get together. So, we're looking at the Chicago version of those big statistics. You and I both look at realtor.org, which is the National Association of Realtors publication. I get webinar opportunities all the time. And then, of course, you and I have both over the years taken advantage of real estate coaching.
Yes.
And that really helps us to stay in touch with best practices, in touch with what's going on in the marketplace, how to hone our skills. So that, we use those all the time,
Agreed. Absolutely. One other thing that I think both of us do, and sometimes new agents don't, we talk to other brokers. We're trying to find out their experience. Because we've got great relationships, we can find out how they're doing, what's going on. So, we get a real sense of what's going on in the market in our local market by staying in touch with each other. It's really helpful. One other thing that you and I do, and we bring to you, viewers, is what's going on in the mortgage market. Because what's going on in the Chicago mortgage market often is a precursor to what's going to go on with us agents.
Mm-hmm.
So
and by that you mean applications, who's getting pre-approved?
Pre-approvals more than anything. And I spoke to a couple of mortgage brokers this week, and they said, both of them, interestingly, and they're both with different companies, so they're competitors with each other. They said that July and August was really quiet, but the last 10 days have picked up. And that makes sense. I sense that a lot of the slowness of the market is pent-up demand to do other things. I mean, it's summertime. It's 2 years since we've been able to take a trip to the Grand Canyon or to Europe or to just hang out at the tennis court, whatever it is. It's a chance to do something else. And but now that people are, back to work, work is now back in the office and back to school, I think people are starting to say, like, well, now I can think about real estate again.
Yeah.
And that's showing up in these pre-approvals. Is that what you're sort of thinking?
Yeah, absolutely right. And that's what I've been hearing too from my real estate photographers and appraisers that, the photographers are out there right now taking lots of pictures. We're going to see more inventory again in September. I think we're going to see more buyers. Rates are moderating. We're down off the 6 and we're down to the mid 5s or less. So we're at a good place rate wise. I think very much so. We're going to have a good fall.
Well, but and this is something that the one of the mortgage brokers said is, and we've heard this with Jerome Powell signaling that there are going to be higher short-term interest rates. The Fed's going to raise its rate, but that doesn't always mean that mortgage rates are going to go up. Because remember, mortgage rates are long-term rates, and they're looking long-term. But a quick jolt may slow things down. So if the Fed does things in a regular way, I think people, and remember, it's buyers' moves. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But right now, it's looking like fall will perk up.
Yeah.
So do we all have? Do we have? Oh, we were going to tell Anne. You were going to tell us about the difference between a marketing agent and a listing agent.
Well, yeah, we were going to talk about that because, again, this goes back to, how we handle our business, how we learn about the business, how we push our listings forward. There are agents out there that'll just sign you up with a listing agreement and say, okay, I represent you now. And we call it a marketing agreement. We are marketing agents. We do more than just slap a property up on the MLS, right? We develop the whole marketing strategy, and we take advantage of all the opportunities out there. Our job is to get the property in front of as many people as possible. And putting it in the MLS, yes, that puts it on listing feeds, but that does not make it special, right? So what are some of the things that you do that you would say are different than just putting it up on the MLS?
Well, and going to marketing versus listing agents too, there are a number of agents out there who really allow the seller to be for sale by owner, to control it. They'll do the showings, they'll do everything. All you're doing if you engage one of these brokers is getting their ability to put it on the MLS.
Right.
That's the only thing. Otherwise, it is effectively for sale by owner. Well, what you get with a marketing agent like Anne or me or any of the real professionals who do this is you get, first of all, the marketing that Anne was talking about, often videos. The thing that is appropriate to reach the buyer. So first of all, what Anne and I do is we figure out who is your buyer. Mm-hmm. And not every property has the same buyer.
Right.
There are certain properties for whom beautiful brochures and books and movie, all sorts of stuff, it won't change anything. What they want is boom, 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 something that looks good on my phone. This is my phone, people. Something that looks good on my phone. And then they'll come. They won't even take a brochure. They won't even take a flyer. They're like, oh, no, I have it on my phone. But then there are properties that are very special, that are very expensive, for whom both the buyer and seller need need to show how special it is through marketing materials. And that for that person will do a video, effectively a movie, that shows the property off in its very best light. That'll have drone footage to provide that. And we'll have, as we do, all of the information about the house, right, about the property, so that the people buying it or the people considering buying it really feel they know what they're getting.
To your point, some properties are really prime for pied-à-terres. Some are really prime for people who want to be in a special school district. Yeah. Some are prime for people who want a lot of high-level turnkey service in a high-rise condominium or co-op. I've got a couple interesting properties right now. My 940 Castlewood, it's not move-in condition. It takes either, somebody's willing to do the rehab, somebody who understands historic properties, et cetera, et cetera. I've got another one coming up that the floor plan is such that it's not your typical home. It's a single family. The second floor just has 2 bedrooms. There's a 3rd bedroom in the lower level, English basement. And then the top floor is a conservatory greenhouse with 2 decks and a view of the city. Well, it's not for your family with 5 kids.
No.
But for your urban gardener, it's a great opportunity, right? You know, some people that would be the home of their dreams. And so it's the audience is very different.
So what a marketing agent will do is think about your buyer. Think about who's likely to buy this property and then aim at them.
Right.
Remember, aiming at everybody doesn't help. It's aiming at the person who is going to buy your property.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, and it's using all the tools in our arsenal, whether it's video, social media, taking advantage of public relations opportunities, taking advantage of luxury portfolio, of which we're members, to really go after the luxury audience, all those things. So
I have not found that my buyers, the buyers who either buy my listings or who are working with me, are finding properties on social media. They're finding them through the apps, through either Redfin, Zillow, HomeSnap, Baird, wherever. They're using apps to find properties, but they're not really saying, oh, I want that condo because I saw it on Instagram, because Instagram very often is just a snap or several. It's just, it doesn't provide the same kind of information.
Right.
Information.
Well, it's never the only thing they use.
Right.
Now, I've done some advertising where they call their agent then, and the agent calls me to come in and show the property.
I have not had that happen, or have that happen more than maybe once or twice. So that's interesting. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Does anyone want to see something pretty, or do we want to
see something pretty? What have you got?
Okay, so let's see if first of all I haven't screwed up my settings. Hold on. So I'm going to now do share. Let's see. Share screen. I did it without screwing up. Yay! So this is a really cool 2-flat. It was featured in Crane Chicago Business, just about to come on the market. It's 3575 West Belden. I forgot to look. It's about 1.8 million, but it's a 2+ flat building in sort of the, what do you call this? Logan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would call this Logan. Okay, so I had to have this ready as something that I thought would be gone in a minute and a half, and it's still on the market. It's about a month old, maybe even 5 weeks. So here it is. Look at this property. So
wow!
2 lots, and 1 lot is a park, and they took this standard building from the outside and made it transformed. Look at this.
Oh, that's fun.
It's like you live in the suburbs.
Yeah.
And it's I think 3 or 4 bedrooms in the main house. And there's a property, they've redone the lower level to make that a suite. And then there's a coach house. So that's the coach house. How fantastic is that? They currently use this as an art studio of the current owners. Look at how great that is. I mean, my God. So that's the coach house. And this is the lower level that they've just built out to make it a garden unit that they can either have guests stay in, or you could rent.
Oh, the lower level of the house?
Lower level of the house.
Okay.
How good is that?
Very interesting.
Yeah. I thought
what was the price on that again, Kyle?
Huh?
What was the price on that again?
Oh, 1.8.
Interesting.
I mean, that is, so you live happily in a beautiful location, in a beautiful setting, and you have
Yeah.
all of this extra space that you could make money on, or you could just have these special spaces for you. So,
Very
oh,
cool.
come on, let's go see that. Let's
Well,
go.
and that reminds me too, I don't know if we've talked about this, maybe we have, but everybody out there, if you live in north and west neighborhoods, you may be in a zone for the additional dwelling unit opportunity. For years, coach houses were not allowed in Chicago. Now they're back as a way to increase the housing inventory. You can't build a coach house for Airbnb, but you can build it as a rental unit for additional income. So absolutely, it's time to think about ADUs, everybody. And if you want more information, contact Kyle or me, and we will help you get that figured out as a way to earn income or have a family member live there.
We can always have a family member live there, but yeah, no, it's great.
Absolutely. So thank you for sharing that, Kyle. Everybody, thank you for watching Monday Morning Coffee with Kyle and Ann here on our special edition Wednesday. We will not be here Labor Day weekend, but we will see you the following Monday. And please send us your questions. If you have an interest in buying or selling real estate, please contact us. We love to help. And we'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.